All right, thanks so much, Alberto. And joining us now from Washington, Congressman Darren Soto from the 9th District here in Florida. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
First off, were you here in Florida when Irma actually went through the area? Tell us, what was your experience?
Yes, I made sure after our votes on Friday for the Irma Harvey relief package to come back down to Florida. My wife and I, we spent the storm and the hurricane hunkering down in celebration, where it was just to the east of the eye. Obviously the winds were pretty violent, and the next day we surveyed the damage, and the following day after that in East Orlando, Osceola, and in parts of Polk County. And
people who've suffered damage through Irma, many will look to the federal government for help right now, especially from FEMA. You, along with the entire Central Florida bipartisan delegation, sent a letter straight to President Donald Trump asking to designate specific counties for assistance. Tell us more about that.
Well, we were very excited that several counties in Central Florida, including all the counties in our district, Orange, Osceola, and Polk, as well as Lake and Seminole County, got the designation of individual assistance. That means business owners, renters, homeowners will be able to apply to FEMA for individual help. I certainly encourage everybody to go to FEMA.gov for more information on that. We'll also be hosting some FEMA outreach events over the next couple days when we return.
And now let's talk about infrastructure. You know, so many people with no power for days after the hurricane went through. Did we not learn our lesson from back in 2004? Why are all the power lines underground where hurricanes simply cannot bring them down? So many folks asking themselves that question, or is that just an impossible thing to even consider?
That's certainly a great point, and it was the one that I made this morning to Leader Pelosi when we had our FEMA meeting in the Democratic leader's office. She took note of it and referenced it several times this morning. We need to have federal incentives, matching funds to encourage local and state governments to put power lines underground. And this is part of a greater hardening strategy, along with building codes and solidifying our shores. As we face more intensifying storms and hurricanes based upon climate change, it's key that society adapt, and the federal government needs to come in to help with that funding.
Is there one thing that you will remember most from this hurricane?
It's certainly that our community is coming together to help out. We've had seniors out of their homes, so many people without power, and we've been scrambling along with your local officials, state officials, and other federal officials to get the job done. And so far, things are going well and are improving, but we still have a lot of people without power. So the big takeaway is we got to get the grid back up and running, and we have to harden our electrical infrastructure, potentially putting most of it underground as we go forward.
All right, Congressman Darren Soto joining us this week from Washington, D.C. Thanks so much for your time, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Up next, we are talking about